Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker. Imagine a natural remedy that strengthens your memory, regulates your emotions, boosts immunity, balances your hormones, enhances productivity, improves your mood, and extends your life. Now imagine this remedy is free, available every night, yet you voluntarily ignore or sabotage it. That remedy is sleep, and that's exactly what most modern people neglect. In Why We Sleep, neuroscientist Matthew Walker reveals that sleep is not a passive act, but the most powerful and sophisticated restoration process the human body possesses. Sleep is the foundation of physical, mental, emotional, and cognitive health. And not getting enough of it is a silent epidemic. Walker begins by showing that sleep isn't a biological failure or wasted time. Quite the opposite. Sleep is one of the most universal and essential behaviors across all species. Insects, mammals, birds, fish, they all sleep. Even in hostile environments, despite risks, the brain insists on sleep. That proves sleep is as vital as breathing or eating. And humans, contrary to what we believe, aren't escaping this need. We're getting sick by ignoring it. Science shows that less than 7 hours per night is already enough to cause significant damage to memory, immunity, and hormonal balance. And the problem gets worse when this becomes routine. But what actually happens while we sleep? Walker explains that sleep is divided into two main types: NREM, non-rapid eye movement, and REM, rapid eye movement. NREM sleep is responsible for cleaning the brain. During this stage, cerebrospinal fluid flows intensely, flushing out toxins accumulated during the day, including proteins linked to Alzheimer's. It's also in NREM that we consolidate factual memories and learned information. REM sleep, on the other hand, is the sleep of dreams, creativity, and emotional intelligence. During REM, the brain connects ideas, activates the limbic system, and helps regulate complex emotions. These two cycles alternate throughout the night, forming 90-minute blocks. Interrupting or shortening sleep means breaking those cycles and preventing the brain from completing its processes. Walker emphasizes that sleep doesn't accumulate. You can't catch up on lost sleep over the weekend. The damage is already done. And it affects not only the brain, but the entire body. For example, the immune system takes a dramatic hit after just one bad night. The production of NK, natural killer cells, which attack cancer cells, drops by more than 70% with less than 6 hours of sleep. That means sleeping too little doesn't just make you tired. It increases your risk of serious diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and even dementia. Sleep is the most efficient biological defense system we have. In practice, sleeping well is directly linked to performance. Students who sleep better retain content more easily. Professionals who prioritize sleep make better decisions, stay focused longer, and have greater emotional control. Elite athletes use sleep as a recovery and performance tool. Walker cites studies with NBA and NFL players that showed significant improvement in physical performance, reaction time, and accuracy, just by increasing sleep duration. In other words, what seems like rest is actually part of invisible training. If this perspective is already making you rethink your nights, go ahead and give this video a like. That way, YouTube knows this content is relevant and shows it to more people who also need to unlock their natural performance. Optimized insights. Part 1: Sleep is an essential biological behavior, not a personal choice. Less than 7 hours of sleep causes mental and physical harm. REM. Sleep cleans the brain and consolidates memories. REM sleep activates creativity and regulates emotions. You can't catch up on sleep. The damage is cumulative. Sleep impacts immunity, hormones, metabolism, and mood. Good sleep boosts focus, memory, self-control, and empathy. True leaders treat sleep as part of their performance strategy. Performance starts at night, not in the morning. Poor sleep silently limits your potential, in part. 2. You'll discover how sleep influences your ability to learn, create, memorize, and regulate emotions, plus how your internal cycles determine when and how your body wants to sleep. If you're ready to keep turning knowledge into real performance, subscribe now to the Optimize channel and strengthen this project with your like. Here, you'll learn how to sleep well to live at your peak. Matthew Walker dives deeper into how sleep enhances learning. He shows that studying without sleeping is like writing on water. The brain can't retain what hasn't been properly consolidated. In one experiment, students who studied and then slept remembered up to 40% more the next day than those who stayed awake. That's because NREM sleep, especially in the early part of the night, reorganizes and strengthens new memories. And it doesn't stop there. REM sleep, which dominates the later hours of sleep, connects ideas, promotes insight, and sparks creative breakthroughs. So pulling an all-nighter before an exam or work deadline isn't heroic. It's self-sabotage. Walker explains that emotional regulation also depends on quality sleep. People who sleep poorly become more reactive, irritable, and pessimistic. That's because the amygdala, the brain's emotion center, becomes 60% more active without adequate rest. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, which manages rational control, weakens. It's a dangerous combination: more emotion, less control. That's why even small sleep restrictions can make you emotionally unstable, impulsive, or prone to anxiety. In contrast, people who sleep well show more empathy, patience, and resilience. Another key element is the circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs our sleep-wake cycle. Walker shows that not everyone has the same internal schedule. Some are naturally morning-oriented, larks. Others are night-oriented, owls. And this isn't a matter of choice. It's genetic. Forcing an owl to function like a lark leads to lower performance, fatigue, and even increased risk of depression. The problem is that society favors the early riser and punishes the night owl, even though both are biologically valid. Understanding and respecting your internal rhythm is part of optimizing your energy. Walker also addresses the impact of light and screens on sleep quality. Blue light emitted by phones, computers, and TVs suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals the body to sleep. Just 30 minutes of screen exposure before bed can delay sleep by up to an hour. And when sleep is delayed, REM time is compromised. The result? Shallow, fragmented, and unrefreshing rest. That's why experts recommend disconnecting at least 60 minutes before bed, dimming the lights, and creating a wind-down ritual. Sleep is not a switch. It's a gradual descent, and screens throw you in the opposite direction. Nutrition also plays a role. Heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime interfere with deep sleep. Caffeine blocks adenosine, the molecule that creates sleep pressure. Even 6 hours after a coffee, half the caffeine is still active in your brain. Alcohol, while it may induce drowsiness, fragments sleep and eliminates REM. The brain doesn't rest, it numbs. And waking up tired after a night of drinks isn't just hangover, it's REM deprivation. Optimized insights. Part 2: Sleep after. Learning enhances memory retention. REM sleep connects knowledge and boosts creativity. Sleep deprivation makes you emotionally unstable. Your internal rhythm is biological, not moral. Respecting your chronotype increases focus and vitality. Screens at night sabotage melatonin and delay rest. Quality sleep starts with routine and disconnection. Caffeine has a long half-life. Avoid it late in the day. Alcohol is a sedative, not a sleep aid. Optimizing sleep is a daily performance investment. In Part 3, we'll explore how sleep influences longevity, disease prevention, and how chronic deprivation rewires your brain for worse. And if you're serious about unlocking your full potential through rest, subscribe to the Optimize channel and share this content, because a rested mind builds a better world. In Part 3 of Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker explains how sleep literally protects your life. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night have a significantly higher risk of premature death. Chronic sleep deprivation raises blood pressure, promotes inflammation, accelerates aging, and compromises glucose regulation. A recipe for diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and cognitive decline. In short, losing sleep is losing life. It's not just about performance, it's about survival. One of the most shocking facts in the book is the link between sleep and cancer. The World Health Organization has classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen. That's because disrupting circadian rhythms and reducing sleep suppresses the immune system, particularly NK cells, the natural cancer killers. Just one bad night can reduce their activity by up to 70%. That's why Walker insists, sleep is not optional. It's an immune defense. Sleep also plays a crucial role in cardiovascular health. One natural experiment Walker shares is daylight saving time. When clocks spring forward and people lose just 1 hour of sleep, heart attacks spike by 24% the next day. In the fall, when people gain an hour, heart attacks drop. This shows how sensitive the heart is to even minor changes in sleep patterns. Consistency isn't just helpful, it's life-saving. Sleep and metabolism are deeply connected. When you sleep less, hunger hormones go out of balance. Ghrelin, which makes you hungry, increases, while leptin, which signals fullness, drops. As a result, sleep-deprived people crave high-calorie foods, especially sugar and fat. It's not lack of willpower, it's hormonal hijacking. Sleep well, and your metabolism regulates itself. Sleep poorly, and your body works against you. Walker also explores the link between sleep and mental illness. Almost every psychiatric disorder shows some kind of sleep disruption, and many are worsened or even caused by poor sleep. Depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, all are tied to sleep imbalance. The brain needs sleep, not just to function, but to stabilize itself. When sleep improves, mood improves. When REM returns, emotional balance is restored. For many, the first step in healing isn't medication, it's deeper sleep. Optimized Insights. Part 3. Sleep protects your immune system, heart and brain. Less sleep equals more disease and faster aging. REM and NREM sleep regulate metabolism, and emotion night shifts are biologically harmful. Not just inconvenient. 1 hour of lost sleep increases heart attack. Risk sleep-deprived brains crave unhealthy foods. Hormones rebel without rest. Poor sleep mimics psychiatric symptoms. Healing starts with recovery, and sleep is recovery. Consistent sleep is a daily investment. In longevity, in Part 4, we'll uncover how dreams influence learning, problem-solving, and trauma healing, plus the habits that create the deepest, most restorative sleep. If you're ready to sleep like your future depends on it, because it does, subscribe to the Optimized channel and let's go deeper together. One of the most fascinating revelations in Why We Sleep is the role of dreams. Matthew Walker explains that dreaming is not random or meaningless. During REM sleep, the brain processes emotional memories, makes abstract connections, and helps us solve problems in creative ways. Dreams serve as emotional therapy. While we dream, the brain replays difficult experiences but without the stress hormone noradrenaline, allowing us to process trauma with calm and perspective. That's why people who get more REM sleep handle challenges with more emotional stability. Walker also highlights the creative power of dreams. Many breakthroughs in science, art, and business were inspired during sleep. The periodic table, famous songs, mathematical insights, they didn't come from effort, but from surrender. The brain, during REM, reorganizes information and combines distant ideas. That's why people say, "I'll sleep on it." It's not a cliché, it's neuroscience. In children and adolescents, sleep shapes the brain. During childhood, deep sleep drives neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire, grow, and learn. Teenagers need over 9 hours of sleep to perform well and stabilize emotions, but school systems worldwide ignore this. forcing students to wake up early when their brains are still in biological night. Walker advocates for later school start times, as studies show that even a 30-minute delay improves grades, mood, and attendance. For teens, more sleep literally means more intelligence. He also gives practical tips to optimize sleep. First, create a consistent routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Second, cool your environment. The brain sleeps better when the body drops in temperature. Ideal room temperature is around 18 degrees, 65 degrees. Third, avoid bright lights at night, especially blue light from screens. Fourth, avoid caffeine after noon and alcohol before bed. And fifth, respect the wind down period. Don't expect to fall asleep immediately after stimulation. Give your brain at least 30-60 minutes of calm transition. Walker debunks the myth that some people do fine with just 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Genetic studies show that less than 1% of the population carries a rare mutation that allows this. The rest are harming themselves, even if they don't feel it. Just because you're used to sleeping little doesn't mean your body is okay. The damage is silent, slow, and cumulative. Optimized insights. Part 4 dreams. Process emotions and relieve trauma. REM sleep boosts creativity and insight. The brain solves problems while you rest. Children and teens need more sleep than adults. Later school times improve academic performance. Cool, dark, quiet rooms promote deeper sleep. Consistent sleep routines strengthen your rhythm. Caffeine and alcohol silently destroy sleep quality. You're not fine on 5 hours. You're slowly breaking. Sleep is not laziness. It's elite recovery in. The final part will wrap up with a global look at the sleep crisis, the cultural shift we need, and how protecting your sleep is a revolutionary act of self-respect. If you've made it this far, subscribe to the Optimized channel and give this message the strength it deserves. Together, we're restoring what modern life has taken away: true rest. In the final part of Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker makes a powerful call to action. We need a global sleep revolution. Modern society has become a system that glorifies exhaustion, worships productivity at any cost, and views rest as weakness. But this mindset is not only unhealthy, it's unsustainable. Walker shows that sleep deprivation is now one of the greatest public health threats. Accidents, burnout, anxiety, chronic illness all rise in sleep-deprived populations. To reverse this, we don't just need personal discipline, we need cultural change. Walker criticizes governments and institutions for ignoring the science. Schools that force early start times, companies that reward overtime and ignore burnout, and a culture that idolizes hustle. These are symptoms of a world out of rhythm. If sleep were a pill, it would be the most powerful medicine ever created. But since it's free and invisible, it gets neglected. It's time for that to change. He proposes policies like later school hours for adolescents, mandatory breaks for night shift workers, blackout curtains in hospitals, sleep education in schools, and workplace cultures that protect recovery. But he also reminds us, while the system evolves, we are responsible for protecting our own minds. Choosing to sleep is choosing to live with clarity, presence, and strength. On an individual level, Walker urges readers to become sleep activists, to proudly protect their nights, encourage others to do the same, and push back against the idea that busyness equals worth. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's invested life. It sharpens your intellect, strengthens your body, and recharges your emotional core. The world doesn't need more hustle. It needs more clarity, balance, and conscious energy. He closes with a powerful reminder: every hour of quality sleep pays compound interest in health, energy, and longevity. In a society running on caffeine, noise, and adrenaline, true power comes from recovery. You don't have to burn out to prove your value. You just need to rest like someone who values their life. Optimized insights, final part. 5. The sleep crisis is a silent public health emergency. Modern culture confuses exhaustion with excellence. If sleep were a drug, it would be a miracle. Cure systemic change starts with individual choices. Sleep boosts performance better than overwork. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a warning schools, companies, and hospitals must evolve. Protecting your sleep is self-respect in action. You can lead a rested revolution. Starting at home, sleep is not passive. It's your most powerful tool. Matthew Walker's mission isn't just scientific, it's humanitarian. And if this message has awakened something in you, subscribe now to the Optimize channel. Here, you'll learn to live, lead, and create from your best rested self. Until the next summary, rest well.